Warm greetings. Welcome back, and would be lovely to hear how it's going on this fourth day, and how was the homework was around observing those different identities and the hobby energy, and also still creating time for this bigger picture, seeing the 4 steps. And we'd like to review this subject of identity with a short animation to start.
The invisible guest is never a victim, never a beggar, never a slave, and always secure. They are free to love. If we feel we can be harmed, love becomes less. Insecurity leads to stress, anger, sadness, and envy. Below the line is the physical world with all the people, possessions. The invisible traveler visits the physical world. He associates with many things but is independent. 100% of sorrow, vices and problems are connected with this world, but it is the mindset of the victim and the beggar, born of false identification with the things of the physical world. There is an option for a radically different perspective. Seeing this physical world as a story on a stage. Then the invisible traveler experiences love, peace, happiness, security, and creativity. Experiencing what is beyond the home of fullness, happiness, beyond harm and needs.
Definitely welcome. It'd be lovely to see those who are in a position to come into camera. Wonderful. Good to see you. Yeah, so these prompts of old thinking come, but I really like the way we can be continually objective. And this quote by Carl Sagan says, "Don't believe everything you think. Question your own assumptions and challenge your own beliefs and seek evidence." So we can have this little checking, and we will be saved from many aspects of the problems of false identification. So welcome to all who've just joined, and I'm handing over to Prashant. Good evening.
Hello and good evening. Yeah, so thank you for the quick summary. We need to realize that this invisible traveler is not conscious normally. It is literally a theory for us. Invisible traveler passing through this. What is conscious is our false ego. It appears in I, that feeling comes. It is most of the time it is false ego, false identity. And as if there is an identity theft. Our true identity is stolen. It is a major issue. But we have adapted to this, and as if the eagle has settled to the ant world, and is quite happy to be successful ant or become a big ant in the ant hill. Story is something as pathetic as that. But the reason we are here is to reset, to come back, to win back our truth. Some of these things need revision also, I feel, in going through some of the ideas and just reflecting your a personal journey in the light of these ideas. Right now, let us create few minutes of experience. And during this time, first step for us is we use paras. And the moment we use paras, game is different. Paras favors the eagle. Patthar favors the the big ant. In other words, ego. Patthar favors the ego. So the moment we use paras, game changes completely. You are seeing the story, the irrelevance of that story. You are seeing it in the context. You are seeing the sky, the true family, immortality. You are seeing the true self. True self becomes conscious. You realize your life is beyond harm. Story is harmless. Many things happen in the story. There is war also in the story. But the story doesn't create the slightest harm to anyone. Just you move to another level with paras. Your reality itself changes. You realize that everyone is immortal and they are noble. They don't need anything from anywhere. One is they are noble, other is they are divine beings. There is nothing inauspicious in anyone. Anyone who is paras, they become completely free from ego and vices. So they all are, that natural state is of being egoless and viceless, sorrowless, harmless. All, always worthy of greatest respect. They are worthy. Whether I respect it is up to me. But each one is worthy. The true self wakes up in this environment. And the true self understands. He is more like an invisible witness. He is observing the story. Witness, it implies detached observer. His world is not affected by anything in the story. Invisible witness, this moment is observing the part of Prashant also. With that complete separation, independence, finds it strange to mix his life with the story. Silently, he is aware that everyone is lucky and he is lucky, very lucky, eternally lucky. as we continue on our journey in the sky and on earth, we understand the immensely beautiful truth of all. Thank you. I know we have got some questions, and happy to take the questions, and then we'll go to the next session.
Yeah, thank you. So around the meditation of 4 steps, and the first we had invisible traveler. Can we imagine or see this traveler in a human form with a star as if behind the forehead, or should we visualize a star throughout?
Star, not independent, just a star. If you can, which is good. There is a focus and reference by using the star. If you can manage the presence, invisible presence, that is also good. Because we have to train ourselves to see the invisible, to deal with the invisible reality. But star is the nearest reference, just a tiny point. But conscious living, one with a personality, is a tourist, is a guest in this world.
The feelings, isn't it?
Without rucksack and without a camera.
Yeah, the feelings it creates. Can all these false identities be removed with the soul-conscious stage?
Yes, it is like it has to be replaced. As the soul consciousness becomes stronger, they become weaker.
So yesterday we talked about reactions, and one reaction is to be irritated, and that's more clear. That's from a false identity. But if it's to find it funny, it makes you laugh. Is that still a wrong identity?
Funny and laugh is one thing, but sometimes laughing at cost of someone, that is not completely right. When someone you are laughing at, there is something mixed within it.
Yeah, makes sense. This last question may be a bigger topic, and perhaps you'll take it today. Could you tell us something about the hidden identifications? So yesterday, what's the hardest one, the one that you don't see? So perhaps if you want to share now or later.
Yeah, I can share one example. In fact, all the identities are hidden. We can't see them normally. How many people tell you that they're identifying with the job, or they're identifying with the body? It is totally normal. We in this world, people are not introspective. They don't have a structure to observe. They don't even see there is anything or any alternative. And in our case, these identities based upon some virtues, qualities, they are more subtle. And normally we don't say that we got ego. How many people tell you that they got ego? They might say someone else has got ego. I heard Trump saying that many political leaders have got ego. He meant not him. So many people, we may be able to spot ego in others, but not in ourselves. In fact, we can never know ego in anyone. We can only see it in ourselves. But as we start the process, we will be able to see what is hidden today may not be hidden tomorrow.
Yeah, makes sense. So there aren't any other questions right now?
Yes. So today we are going to hear a story, and this story, in the form of the story, we are understanding the psychodrama. We are understanding what is happening within our mind, different factors, different players. No, things are so abstract, and the story gives a beautiful insight to understand this this structure. This is a epic story, which means ancient Indian story, and called Ramayana. And most people in India don't see the subtle message within that story. So here we are understanding what this story represents. So it is, because it is a rather long message. I will go quickly, and but feel free as we go along. Feel free to uh, ask, interact. In this story, there are few characters. One is called Sita. Sita is the princess queen. She is shown as beautiful, virtuous, everything going well. She's happy. And Sita represents the soul. And Sita is married to Ram. Ram is the king. He is strong, he is wise, he is perfect. He is perfect in every aspect. Perfect son, perfect brother, perfect whatever he is doing, he is perfect. So the Ram represents God in this story. In the kingdom of Ram, there is happiness and perfection and harmony. There's no concept of any sorrow. But in the story, we need a bad guy, and the bad guy is Ravan. And Ravan is the king of the demons. And demons, what is the tendency of the demons? Take sorrow, give sorrow. Demons' trait is that, dealing with sorrow. So Ravan wants to give sorrow to Sita, but he cannot give sorrow easily because there is a line drawn. As long as Sita stays behind that line, Ravan cannot do anything. Dotted green line. What is this dotted green line? Do you want to tell? What is this line? You can answer. So as long as Sita stays behind this line, Ravan cannot do anything. What does the line represent?
Like a safety, the line of conduct, someone is saying. Like ignorance.
Yes, line of ignorance. We said in the earlier discussions, you cross that line, then you are into that story world. You are into the world of camel and elephant. So here, Sita, as long as Sita stays behind the line, Ravan can do nothing. If she crosses the line, then Ravan is the king in ignorance. Even though he's in ignorance and he's the king in ignorance, he has one wisdom: how to get others into ignorance. He is clever at that. He attends all the management programs, leadership programs. He's always attending everywhere. So at one time, Ravan sends a golden deer, and golden deer is outside the line. You can see the deer, golden deer. Does it look like a deer?
Attending the abstract art course.
You can see the tail of the deer. So the deer is outside the line. Sita says her life is perfect, but another deer will do no harm. And just crossing the line once and take the deer, go back straight away. So where is the problem? There's unnecessary, too many restrictions here. Don't cross this line and don't touch this. Too many restrictions. So she crosses the line. And once she crosses the line, what happens? If you have entered into darkness, in darkness, you do more mistakes. In ignorance, you are doing more mistakes. It is not easy to go from darkness back into light. It is easy to go from the room where there is light into a room where there is darkness. So now she is in trouble. She cannot go back. And Sita is kidnapped. Sita is now in Ravan's kingdom. Whole plot was to kidnap her. And in the Ravan's kingdom, she's the slave. Her first posting is the slave. And slave to whom? Slave to Ravan. And Ravan has got 10 heads. And these different heads need different things. So her boss is this Ravan and has got many, many heads. And she has to run around to please her boss. So one time, this head of Ravan who wants cigarettes, you can see the cigarette. He says, cigarettes, and so Sita has to get in the car and go at the fastest speed to the tobacco shop and get the cigarettes for her boss. And he says, good slave, and that is not the end of the problem. What happens is that head gets bigger. That's the nourishment for that head. And the bigger head wants more cigarettes. So she has to run faster. And more she gives to this monster, he gets bigger. And bigger Ravan is proper monster. It's just like sometimes you see a tiny, small tiger appears very harmless, but you feed him, he becomes 3 times your size, and he wants to eat you. Same happens here. Here is a demon, a small demon appears harmless, so she's feeding this demon, he becomes a proper demon. Proper demon means he now takes sorrow. If cigarette is not there, he gets angry. He is unhappy. He becomes envious. All these different kinds of sorrow that is now exhibited. One head wants cigarettes. What second head? Does the second head need? You can tell. Even those who heard it before, they can answer.
Chai, maybe tea, coffee, and alcohol. Someone is saying, yeah, alcohol, cigarettes go together. Maybe the company of somebody else, and of course money. Someone's saying meat. Is it craving for certain kind of foods?
Yes, different heads. One head is obsessed with one thing, other head is obsessed with something else. One head wants position, bigger position. One head wants possessions. One head wants another person's particular person. If that person is not there, he's depressed. And so different heads. Lust, the whole department of lust is just one head of Ravan, obsessed with lust. And so these are different heads of Ravan, and Sita is the slave to feed them. So she's a full-time job, running after to feed, making all these different heads happy. And her only the immediate aim is to have some peace. Give these monsters what they want and attain some peace. But it doesn't happen because more she gives to them, those heads get bigger. And the bigger heads, these are bigger monsters. So she tries to please, but the problem is made worse. So Sita finds herself in this big trap of Ravan. Now the question for you, what are all these heads? What do they represent? We said that star represents, Sita represents soul, and then other Ram represents God. What do these heads represent? What are they?
They represent vices. That's one response.
Okay, and what is
Many
behind the vices?
egos, different egos,
Yeah,
impurity, body consciousness, identities, insecurity,
yeah.
emptiness.
What we heard yesterday, the different identities. Mm, Remember the subject of false I. These are the different identities. Ego is the right answer in this. And there are subtle and gross. One identity based on position, one identity based on something else, but they are all the different heads of Ravan. One unique thing about all these heads, if we are to come to that box, all these heads of Ravan, they are absolutely caught in different things within this box. One head is caught with coffee, one head is caught with cigarettes, one head is caught with another person, one head is caught in pornography, one head is caught with money, but everything, it has to be within that box. And as was said, that box is a foreign world, that box is a story world, and that box is unpredictable world. It is to cross the line, go into that and claim things. We said it is big confusion. Ravan is embodiment of that ignorance. He lives in that. Embodiment means he is absolutely sure about his position. He thinks I am successful. He is having parties. He is getting, bigger job, bigger position. He is sort of celebrating it. Next day he may be crying, but he will never give up his ignorance. That is Ravan. So with full confidence, he lives in that box, that foreign world, and each head wants, they are insecure. Each head is insecure. So he constantly wants more, trying to make himself secure in that impossible world. So that is Ravan, and Ravan is now fully busy. Ram sends a message to Sita. One time we were telling this story to one gathering here. We got a gathering called U3A. They are retired people, and they meet once a week. And I was sharing this story in that gathering. And one man, he said, he was listening to the story, and he said, "This Ram, he is not taking any responsibility." Sita is in such big trouble. What is Ram doing all this time? So, Ram is observing, is giving freedom, but Ram is also taking responsibility. Ram sends a message to Sita, and he says, "You are in big trouble. You are in the trap of this monster. He's like a bully. He is constantly, having demands, and you are feeding this bully." Sometimes you get this, some terrorists, sometimes who are they kidnap people and they take ransom, pirates, and once they ask for ransom, so they get some millions. With those millions, they buy more guns. So now they can do bigger piracy, bigger. They can take on other. They can pay more criminals. This kind of Ravan is doing the same. Ravan is embodiment of that. So all this criminal behavior you will see within Ravan. So you feed Ravan, Ravan becomes a bigger demon, bigger criminal. So Ram sends a message: you are in trouble feeding this Ravan, but no problem. I am Almighty. I can free you from this Ravan completely and help you come behind the line. But there is a condition. And the condition is what is the condition? Do you want to guess? Even those who heard it before can answer. They say there is a condition. What is the condition?
She has to listen. If he says advice, he has to give advice, but she should listen. Give up attachments, like let go. Come and come back from the line, follow his instructions, stop feeding Ravan, follow Ram. And
actually, the condition is very simple. Condition is, do you want to become free? That is the condition. Do you want to be free from Ravan? To take a decision. That is the condition. To be free from Ravan. Then he is happy. Just like a doctor might say, I can operate on you, but do you want the operation? If the patient say, I don't want the operation, I want to try some reflexology, doctor will say, okay, try that and come back when you want. So it is noble position. He says, I can free you from Ravan, but do you want to be free? Is it easy? Is it an easy decision? As we said, and I want to mention first, this is a story. It is a psychodrama. It is happening in each one's head. Each and every person on this planet, they are this psychodrama is happening in their lives. There is a lion, there is Ravan, all the heads of Ravan are there, and there is a Ram also, and this game is going on. So is it an easy decision for Sita? Who feels it is easy? decision to become free from Ram, free from Ravan.
Not sure about that, but the question is difficult. It seems difficult.
Okay, the choice is either become queen to Ram or a slave to Ravan. This is a choice. Is it a very difficult decision to make?
Takes courage, someone is saying. But when you put it like that, it should be easy. Decision is easy, but needs a lot of effort. We have to practice our virtues and notice where our real values are. It's easy decision, but hard to put into practice.
Putting into practice, Ram will help. Here at this stage, just the decision. But the question is it this easy for, this is happening in your town, all the people in your town, this is going on. And if you ask 10 people, 10 of your friends, do you want to be free from Ravan? Will they say, yes, yes, we want to be free from Ravan? Will they come running?
So yes, now it is easy. But one has to know the contrast between being a slave and to be free. We try to feel worthy from things in the external world.
Yeah. Now the decision is made difficult because Ravan has got an assistant, and assistant name is Maya, Madam Maya. And Maya is intelligence in the Ravan administration. That's why Ravan has given her this job. What is the job for Maya? Don't let Sita take the decision. That's all. That is the job. Her department is this. Ravan's department, different departments. One department is anger department. One department is, you know, or irritation department. So Maya's department is don't let Sita take the decision. And so Maya goes to Sita's world, becomes a good friend of Sita. Sita likes her so much that Sita appoints her as a main advisor. So whenever Sita has to take any decision, she checks with Maya. She sends a message, WhatsApp message to Maya, and Maya replies. So that is going on, that Maya is now the advisor to Sita. Anyone? Anyone has got Maya as the advisor still?
Could be.
Hmm?
It could be, yes.
Yeah. So let us take a scenario. Sita says, I should stop smoking. She comes to a decision, maybe I should stop smoking. I don't like this smell of the cigarette, I can't breathe properly. My one lung is removed and I'm getting this cough. So, good reason I should stop smoking. And Maya says, so she sends a message to Maya. Daya, I want to stop smoking. This is my decision. But what is your opinion? Maya says, good decision. But today, what date? In the middle of the month. Just wait for a few more days, and from 1st of July, you can do this. So Maya comes with a clever answer. Do it later. And Sita says, yes, yes, of course. That sounds better. So you do it from 1st of July. By 1st of July, she has forgotten her decision. She's busy. And here, in the university, there was one porter who used to smoke. So I mentioned to him that you come and I can do acupuncture and it will help you give up smoking. He said, I'm going on holidays. When I come back, I want to do this. I want to give up. So he came back from holidays. And next time I met him, I said, you're back from holidays. When are you coming? He says, now I got duty free. I bought duty free cigarettes. I have to finish them now. I said, okay, once you finish this duty free cigarette, then we'll look into it.
Good
So,
example. Mhm. Yeah.
so another time, Maya will say, it is very difficult. And Sita says, yes, yes, of course it is difficult. Another time, Maya says, you are weak. You tried to do this before, you fail. You don't have that, confidence in you. Why do you want to simply waste your time trying these things? Lead a easy life. And Sita says, of course, yes, yes, I forgot that I'm weak. Another time, Maya says, it's a long process. It will take years. People do it gradually. Slowly, slowly catch a monkey. You heard these words? Some people slowly, slowly catch a monkey. So they're very impressive. Yes, that a good strategy. Maya has got corporate lawyers working for it to think of excuses. Many, many were very clever excuses. For one person, he will say, you will lose friends if you do this. Another person says, you will put on weight if you give up smoking. So different clever reasons. For another person, you will say, another set of lawyers to generate doubts. Something that is so obvious that will create doubt, and then he said, throw the whole thing away because you are doubting this. What is the form of Maya in the West? In your city, what is the form of Maya? In most of the cities in the West, or at any cities anywhere.
Like someone saying procrastination, that might
Yeah,
be everywhere.
later.
Distractions, consumerism, wanting more, more, more.
Another form of Maya is
Adverts.
appearing busy. You are kept so busy that you have no time to think which direction you are going. Running, keep you run fast, fast, fast. You are running and running, and you don't even know which direction you are running. Here you are running, you are busy feeding Ravan, feeding your enemy, and there is no time to question even, what am I doing here? What is all this progress? What am I doing here? Which direction? Some nice quote, better to go slow in the right direction than fast in the wrong direction. Various religions, we broadly use the word bhakti for that. It is hijacked by Maya. and that is the whole structure is used to feed Ravan. A religion or whatever, in the name of God, broadly, God, that life that is going on, that is also, the structure that is hijacked by Maya. Is that true? Can you give an example? Can you say why?
It's a big statement, isn't it? I suppose one would take someone is asking, can you elaborate a bit more on what you mean?
Yeah, sure.
Go to answer.
Like what is happening is Sita knows that she wants Ram. She knows that she's in big trouble here, and this is with the larger world also. All the Sitas, they know there is something not quite right, and I need Ram to make myself free from this situation. And Ram will help me. She knows this deep inside. And Maya says, you are looking for Ram? Okay, here is a statue of Ram. So, you start worshipping this statue, that is good start. So she is worshipping that statue. She is building temple around that statue. She is now getting attached to that temple and that statue. She is busy, doing various worship and rituals. Now real Ram comes. She says, no, I'm busy. I don't have time for you. I'm busy with the statue of Ram. So that whole structure of statue was created by Maya to keep her busy and prevent her from looking for real Ram. And that serves the purpose of Maya. And what you will see by creating that structure, all the interests of Ravan are maintained. Whatever Ravan wants, he gets it. And she's just believing that she's with Ram in some way. But real benefit from Ram is not getting. If it was real Ram, Ram will say, will aim to free her from Ravan. But these statues, they are not aiming, what the whole structure is not aimed to remove the Ravan. It is aimed to protect Ravan. For example, I can take example of Cambridge, and it may be true in many cities. Christmas, and it's a big day for billions of people on this planet. Christmas, it is a day of God, main day of the year, and so Ravan should be really worried about Christmas. But what is happening on Christmas Day is all the 10 heads of Ravan are fully busy. In fact, Ravan is waiting for the Christmas Day. It is a Ravan's party. All the 10 heads, all possible heads of Ravan are busy during the month of Christmas in many places. And there is no attempt made to even understand Ravan or remove him. This is with Christmas, but you will see the same pattern happening in many other rituals and structures. If you just see under the surface, you will find that Ravan is kept alive. Ravan is supported in some way. There is some exit clause, don't do this, don't do that. But on Friday it is okay. On this, don't eat meat, but some special meat is okay. If you offer it in a right way, is okay. This kind of thing. One lady, she gave up whiskey, but started drinking sherry. That is okay. that is holy for some reason.
Someone is asking, does this apply to other, like maybe the New Age movement has different kinds of practices like chanting, or different traditions do chanting,
Whole thing.
moving meditation practices, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Means you will notice that it is all nice. It may sort of help you with health even, but Ravan is kept alive. Ravan's interests are, and then Maya is happy. Maya will allow you to do that. If it creates obstacle to Ravan, then Maya will find reasons to to ban it. So Maya is 100% loyal to Ravan. She's thinking of Ravan's interest. She's clever. There is a Greek goddess by name Pandora, and she is called Kakos Kalos, means wicked and beautiful. Beautiful and wicked. Kalos is good, polykala, kala is good. So, but in this context, someone who is beautiful and wicked. So that is what Maya is. Maya's outer form is beautiful, friendly, sweet, all lots of pleasantries, lots of praise. But deeper inside, the agenda is she's working for Ravan, and Ravan is an absolute enemy of Sita. Ravan wants Sita as a slave. In some crocodile parks, if you go to crocodile parks, I don't know if well, I'm not recommending you, but they advise you not to feed the crocodile. If you got a cake, you give a cake to the crocodile. Crocodile is not thinking, oh, you are a good friend, loves you, thank you very much. No, crocodile starts running after you. Crocodile thinks that you are the remaining cake. It wants to eat you. There is no brain, there is no department in the crocodile to have gratitude or to be appreciating. It just knows that it wants to eat you. The Ravan is one of those. Ravan, it is not possible for Ravan to be grateful. Sita has done so much. Let us have some mercy. Let us be grateful to her. No, Ravan just want to give sorrow. That is all he can think of. And so it is like a madman. He can only give sorrow, regardless of what anyone does. He knows only to give sorrow. And Maya is 100% working for Ravan's administration.
A bit earlier, there was different opinions. So how can we discern between others' advice and what's the best route? What's the best thing to do?
So internally, we have to check whatever it is it feeding Ravan in me? Is it feeding Ravan in others? Or is it feeding the angel in others? We have to check. Is it feeding the demon or the angel?
Like, is it from Ram?
Yeah, is it for Sita? Is it helping Sita or is it helping Ravan? Sorry, say it again.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah. It's a question here. I don't know if I quite got it. You might understand. Is it like putting sweets on Ravan so it doesn't taste bitter? So we are trying to protect Ravan by making it sweet so we can get rid of the bitter
That
taste.
is like in different ways, in different structures Maya has got structures and to keep Ravan's interest. Yeah. So what we have seen here is different ways Maya comes. We have to observe this in ourselves. Maya, as was said, Maya doesn't come with a label Maya. We are understanding this. It is like it personified that helps us, and you will see, okay, this is a clever arguments coming from Maya to protect Ravan, and to defeat Sita. So to recognize this, that is a good step for us. Now let us come to this sketch. What we are seeing here, there is a game, inner game, and in this game, Sita and Ram are on one side, Ravan and Maya on the other side. And in every game, there are winners and losers. So also here, and there are winners and losers. Sita may win the game, Sita may also lose the game. It is not given that Sita will always win. It depends on each Sita. In every game, there are prizes and penalties. So also in this game, there are prizes and penalties. Except that the prizes here are real and penalties are real. In other words, even in all these games, these days there's football going on, and there are some, in Olympics even, the prize is a medal, maybe gold medal, but a medal, that is a prize. And penalty is a red card, that is a penalty. In this game, prizes are real, penalties are real. And I'll give you an example. If you go to some places, and if you see some misery, someone's life having misery, is it random? Is it just chance that someone is born in a situation, in a place where there are such difficult life? Sometimes the situation is such no one can help them, even that kind of situation. Is it random, just chance that it is like that? This knowledge says that it is not a chance. There are reasons. Sita has been defeated by Maya. Maya has won. And if Maya has won, there will be penalties. That's why this game, there is a name for this game. And this name is Raz. And Raz means it is hidden game. No one can see this game going on. But it is so significant game. It is a very important game happening in our lives. And based on this game, why it is important? Because based upon the score of this game is our life, this life and the future lives. Our journey is affected by this score of this game. Like no one likes, some, little discomfort. Even for 1 hour, someone tells you, stay in this situation, bit uncomfortable situation for 1 hour. We don't like it. Be in some discomfort, alone, or dark, or fearful. We don't want to be there. Not for even 1 hour, not for even for 1 minute. Now, sometimes the birth is in such a difficult situation. So it is not a chance. It is not a random. There are reasons, and reason is Ravan has won the game. And whole life, there is a life of the penalty. We also know the prizes. Sometimes someone is born in a situation where whole country is celebrating their birth. Everyone is happy. They get the best education. All whole life is, they are born with a golden spoon in the mouth. Is it also random? No, there are reasons. The reason is Sita has won the game. So if you win the game, there are prizes. If you lose the game, there are penalties. And this is such a game, no one else can win it for you. Even God, even Ram cannot play the game for you. Each one has to play the game. Each one gets the prizes. Each one gets the penalties. Your best friend cannot play the game for you. You can't play this game for your some relations, or each one has to play their game. There is one more game, and it is called boxing. And what happens in this game? There is one more result, and that result is called knockout. So the player is made unconscious, and that is allowed in boxing, to make another player unconscious. And when the player is unconscious, he doesn't even know that he was in a game. That is what happens. He's in a game, but he doesn't even know that because he's unconscious. The referee counts up to 15, and then they call the ambulance, and they call, um, different reality altogether. So if in your town, we said this game is going on in everyone's life, regardless of their, whether they believe in soul, believe in God, don't believe in it, and the game is going on. And if they have, they don't even know that they are in the game. If you mention to them this game going on, they say, game? Which game? They don't even know there is a game going on. If that is what is happening, it means Sita is unconscious. It is a state of being knocked out. Ravan is completely in charge, and Sita is in a zombie state. And what happens when someone is unconscious like this? Then what are the chances of winning this game? Knockout, zombie means you are a slave to the other side. Ravan just can do whatever, can ask to do, like a slave, full-time slave. And then there is no effort to do anything else, to come out of it. And do you want to add anything? Do you want to say anything?
In the last part, one question was, is it our karma? Is that another way of saying it?
Yeah, the worst karma is to feed Ravan. That is the worst karma.
And when would the decision have been made? I'm not sure if it was connected to like decision, feeding Ravan. Does it come immediately, the result? I think that's the question.
Result will come in its own time, but we have the choice now to take a decision. In the past, whatever it was, and we know the result. Now we have a choice, being understanding what this decision means, what the game is. That is the choices now.
Okay. Yeah, the clarification on this particular question, to be born in a particular family.
What about it?
When was the decision made, for example?
In the earlier life, the life before. That is why the birth is in a certain family.
Yeah. Okay. That's helpful. This was a little earlier. The question reads, if Ravan is just another faculty of the mind, does it also serve a useful purpose to make the game or the drama interesting or entertaining?
Yeah, we are not saying faculty of the mind. That is not the way we put it. In the story, another character in the psychodrama, you know, happening. Uh, yeah, it is acting on the mind through the mind, but it is another factor in the psyche. So what was the question? Second part of the question.
Does it serve a useful purpose?
Does it serve any purpose? No. There are, as we are seeing here, it is a product of ignorance, darkness. So there are certain factors come in our lives. They are out of ignorance. I can do many things. Ignorance doesn't serve any purpose, but we have an option to go into ignorance.
Yeah, I think that helps. And do let us know. So there aren't any other questions right now.
So when Sita is unconscious, and to address this unconscious state, in the story, there is one reference. One word is used in the story. And that word is, make a guess, what is that word?
When you
That
click the
word
link,
that word is Sanjeevani. Sanjeevani is a mythological herb that can revive the dead. Mythological. So in the story, someone is sent to get this Sanjeevani, and someone was unconscious, he was revived. But now we are understanding all the siddhas are unconscious and they need Sanjeevani. And so the true Sanjeevani is Sanjeevani of knowledge. Knowledge has the power to deal with this ignorance of Ravan. And in this world, there is so much, we are talking about spiritual knowledge. Other knowledge will not revive the Sita, spiritual knowledge. But even in the spiritual knowledge, the market of spiritual knowledge, there's so much going on. Just on the subject of God, someone told me, one publisher last year, 16,000 new books are published on God, just in 1 year, on top of all the scriptures and Bibles and all this, there are more. So how to know? There are so many sages and so many organizations and meditations and lots of apps. You can just type and you can get an app. You know, God's also there. So how to know which is Sanjeevani, which is not Sanjeevani? How to discriminate in between in all this? Do you have some way of discrimination, or is all Sanjeevani?
there must be some information that's more authoritative.
Yeah, one way to understand this is we all need this discrimination. One way to understand if it is true Sanjivani, you will definitely understand the game. If you are not, you are doing whatever and you don't even know that there is a game going on, it means Sanjivani has not worked. So if there is a Sanjivani there, you will understand the game. You will understand the enemy. Who is enemy? There is a very clear Ravan there, Maya there, intelligence there, Kakos Kalos there. So there is a big enemy that you have to recognize the form. Just superficially Maya, that is not enough. You need to understand the form of Maya. And then there can be victory. Say some country goes to war and just say, oh, enemy. That is not enough. You need to know what is the preparation of the other side. If you understand it, then there is a possibility of victory. You also need to know your friend. If you are not recognize the friend, he wants to help you. He's on your side. He's the friend of the soul. And 100%, you want to help you win. If you have not recognized him accurately, then Sanjivani has not worked. Just God, God, God is not enough. Here, God, he is there to help you win this game. As was said before, that Maya has a God department. Maya has a Bhakti Ram department. So that is not enough, because that just keeps you working for Ravan. But you are recognizing true Ram, then that will happen if there is true Sanjivani. If there is Sanjivani, you will recognize yourself, self. You are the queen, not a slave. You will recognize who you are. Then gaining victory is another thing, but Sanjivani, you will start with this understanding. You are not meant to be a slave. You are a queen. One more aspect we will recognize if the Sanjivani works. If you tell that, you will get a prize. We said if there is a Sanjivani, you will recognize the game, you will recognize the enemy, you will recognize the friend, you will recognize the self, true self, and one more. You will get a prize. Big prize you will get if you win the game, but a small prize.
Family?
Family, yes. One more.
Let's show the list again.
Yes.
You recognize ego, enemy? I think you said that.
Yes. Enemy, yes. Ravan.
God, I think we had that.
God is your friend. You recognize the friend. This is the list.
Price. Oh.
Anyone, even those who heard before, you can answer.
The line.
Yes, that's good.
Someone plays cricket.
You get a prize. Whoever answered get a prize. So if the line, this dotted line, that is so significant. If you are playing a game, if you are playing cricket and you don't know the crease where the line is, you will be out and they will stump you. If you don't know the line in a war, which side are you working? You don't even know. You could be working for the enemy side if you don't know the line. So here, Maya will make it so fuzzy. You need to know which is victory. What is meant by victory? What are you trying to cross? You need to understand this. Have you crossed already? Are you already on the winning side, or are you still fighting? Fighting with Ram also. So you have to understand the line, then you win. And that is a great news. Maybe we'll take a break at this point and we'll continue after the break. Look out for the space. We will be seeing how to win the game. To have Sanjivani is not victory. Sanjivani makes you conscious, but Ravan is still there. We can say it is a victory only if Ravan is removed. Ravan and Maya have to be eradicated, immobilized. Then we can say that is victory. Right now, Sita, that was unconscious, has become conscious. That's a great news, but that is the beginning of the victory.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? To get to the point of knowledge, and then we have to play. It's like getting to the starting position, the starting block. So the question we could discuss: what inner games do you notice within yourself, and what would help Sita win over Ravan? Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's in the chat. We'll repost it again, and we'll open up the rooms. I hope you can join, and hope if you come in camera, it's great. We'll meet you back in 10-15 minutes. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. I wonder what was important in the room discussion, where it went. Big topic, of course. And maybe can just create just a pause to experience this joy of Sita in Ram in his world, all the Sitas in that original piece. Thank you. I think this is it is epic by its very nature, the story, and we will definitely share a written version for reflection. So you're welcome back, and handing over to Prashant for I think the second part.
Thank you. Let us create a few moments of reset. We are reminding it is the journey of the invisible witness, very different to the character and the role. And this invisible witness is the one who is involved in this story world, but he's not part of the story. He's not part of this theater. one step behind, is just the observer. We are asking, are we friends of this traveler? Are we friends of the invisible witness? Ram is the friend of that invisible witness. If we are not friends of the invisible witness, then we are friends of the ego. Ego is projected on the role, but behind that role is the ego. Thank you. So we saw in our journey and this game, we saw there are these different players in this game. There is Sita, Ram, we saw Ravan, Maya, we saw the game, and we saw that Sita may get Sanjivani also. Sita becomes conscious, but Ravan is very much there. Ravan has been in the ring. Now, question to you: Is it realistic if in a boxing ring, if one player was knocked out, unconscious, and he's made conscious, and the referee allows them to go for the next round, what are the chances of he winning the next round? Is it realistic? Or the chances are more or less? Someone who was unconscious, beaten up, and he's just become conscious, and he's in the next round with the same player. What are the chances of he winning the game? More or less?
Less. That's the
Less. What can change the game? How can the chances of this player improve either significantly? And what is required? If she goes again for the next game again, for her to win, what is required?
Someone saying depends on the motivation and understanding. If they know the enemy's weakness, seeing others as souls, knowledge how to defeat the opponent, full consciousness, courage.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that is required is new knowledge, something new. If you are using the same old method, same old approach, you will get the same results. But if you want new results, you need new knowledge, new information, in other words. In the information, especially, you need to know your own strengths. They are very useful to you. And you also need to know what are the weaknesses of the enemy. Both are useful. Now here, Ravan's, what is the main weakness of Ravan? If anyone is going for a war, he understands the weakness of the other side. He need to know. Then he can play the game properly. So what is the weakness of this Ravan? All the 10 heads of Ravan, they are absolutely dependent on supply. They are a product of ignorance, and so And they want constant supply of different things. And you stop the supply, that head of Ravan becomes unconscious. Just like say you got a car and it needs a special kind of some charger or something like this. And if that charge is not there, your car, you can't use the car. It is very expensive car, but there is no charge and there is no charging facility nearby, then you can't use that car. And if it has to be charged every uh, 10 miles, then it becomes more difficult for you. In the same way here, this Ravan, every head of Ravan needs supplies. Now, sometimes it happens in a war, and they find out who is the supplier of this party, and they can go and convince the other country to stop the supplies, and then that helps the war, the results of the war, stop the supplies. So here, who is supplying Ravan? Who is the supplier of Ravan?
Someone said Amazon on a previous retreat. Oh,
Supplier, 10 heads of Ravan. Who is supplier? 10
Sita.
heads of Ravan.
Someone has typed Sita.
Yeah, Sita is the sole supplier of Ravan. Now that puts Sita in a very powerful position. And we said she doesn't need to go and convince someone else to stop the supplies. She is the supplier, so she can stop the supply.
The supply stopped, I think. Vishant, you need to unmute now. Yeah. Everything went off. This talking about supply.
Is Sita cannot be harmed by anyone. Such is the reality of all the souls. So once she understands this, she can now confidently go ahead and stop. His banking will also become less, and that will continue. And that is a big success. As the Ravan's heads are becoming smaller, that's a big success for you. We say, okay, you stop the supply. Let us take the example of cigarettes. You stop supply of cigarettes. You may have examples. Someone has stopped smoking for 1 month. You know that he is almost free. That Ravan's head is almost gone. She just need to maintain it, and then he will be out of it completely. And the same with every head of Ravan. You stop the supplies, those heads shrink. They will become smaller. Now there is one more supply route, and that is thoughts. I can stop the cigarettes, but I keep thinking about cigarettes. I think of my past experiences with cigarettes. I fantasize having cigarettes. All this feeds the head of Ravan. So-called about waste thoughts, they are not really waste. They are very important thoughts for Ravan. And different heads of Ravan are getting supplied by these thoughts. So here you are taking a decision, okay, that is, I'm stopping the supply. Let me stop the supply of thoughts. And whichever head you want to remove, stop the supply of thoughts. How? How do you stop supply of thoughts? Easy method. Keep the mind busy with Ram. And understand this more, what it means. Like if you keep the mind busy, like for example, over the last few days, you have so many ideas, so many thoughts. If you revise them, if you go through the notes, talk about this to another friend of yours, discuss this, your mind is busy. It is like busy with the knowledge of Ram. As you are keeping yourself busy, Ravan cannot use that mind. And Ravan is stopped. It is the idle mind that is the devil's workshop. Mind that is busy, devil cannot use it. So that is like a nice way to stop the supply of thoughts also. One message for the brave ones, those who are brave and courageous. You all are courageous, yeah? So the message for the brave ones, go for the big head first. Don't be free. Don't be a friend of the big head of Ravan. Whichever is your big head, big Ravan within you, stop the supplies of that head. Remove that head first. That is the courageous position. And when you stop the supply of that big head, what will happen? Stop the thoughts also. Keeping mind busy with things and no thoughts. 3 days. They keep their attention. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 days. Make this promise to yourself. 3 days, I will stop the supply of thoughts, but all supplies. 3-day program. And you will notice that that head of Ravan becomes unconscious, which is a big news. If even one head of Ravan is removed from the system, it is like one demon less in your life. You will notice, people will notice this change in you. People will say, "What has happened? Or how come you are different?" They will appreciate your company, but you will enjoy your own company because the demon is removed from the system. Big demon. Once big demon is removed, other demons become less difficult. It becomes easier. Stopping supplies.
How do you know which is the big head?
Whichever you think is the big head, apply this program for 3 days, and that is good. It has to go anyway, and then you will notice if there is any other head hiding behind. You will know. But remove. Don't spend too much time analyzing what you think is the big head. Start working, removing that, and that will remove the clutter. Once some clutter is removed, you can see the other remaining clutter more easily.
When it's at the intellectual level, it's quite huge to grapple with, but the feeling of the victory that Sita gets from just stopping the thoughts to one aspect, and sometimes you say even 5% less one head, it's like a
you feel it, and it gives you the power, courage, enthusiasm to keep going. But it's wonderful to just see the strength that Sita has in her hands to just stop that supply. And as you say, less clutter. It's such a positive momentum. Someone's asking or typing, you mentioned demon, but what about victim, slave, or beggar? Is that something that doesn't include?
Yeah, yeah. It is the Ravan's different forms. Ravan's one form is a beggar, another form is a victim, and slave. What these are different forms of Ravan, different manifestations.
Someone is saying, could it be my nationality because she feels less free in Scotland?
In this case, it is like it is 100% freedom. And at the outer level, drama is one thing, but at the level of the what happens, inner life, we have got this 100% option. We can choose what we want to do there.
We don't need to move, even, yeah.
So this is one area we spoke about, that how to deal with Ravan and stopping the supply of Ravan. We also need a strategy to stop Maya. And we saw Maya has got these different trump cards. For example, one trump card of Maya, do it later. So he heard the Maya. Maya is saying do it later. Internally, you are checking what will Ram say. Ram says now or never. Whatever that is right, do it now. Whoever has got that virtue, doing it now. Once you decide it has to be done, not keeping it tomorrow, they are the winners in this. Maya says, another form of Maya we saw, and it is difficult. And what does Ram say? Ram says it is easy, Raj Yoga. Whole thing is easy. You are the queen. Nothing is difficult for you. Like Ram, you are like Ram. So, and if you say it is easy, it becomes easy for you. And if you say difficult, anything becomes difficult. So it depends on whom you listen to. Maya says you are weak, and Ram says you are the Shakti. Shakti is a goddess who rides lions. So you are Shakti. Nothing is impossible for you. It all depends on whom you listen to. The moment you realize you can do anything what you want, you realize yes, you can do it also. Maya will say it's a long process. And what does Ram say? It's a game of 1 second. If you want to stop smoking, you can do it now, this second, 1 second. There are examples, who do it like this. Maya will come with all kinds of excuses. And what does Ram say? Use your brain for solutions. It can be used to think of excuses, but here be extra clever to think of solutions rather than excuses. Maya will come with doubts, all kinds of doubts. And Ram says, bring yourself to a level where you are very clear about every aspect so that there is no room for doubt. Be 100% clear. That's why we are encouraging questions and all. Ask questions, get it, understand every aspect so that there is no room for doubt. Things are like that. Things are black and white. Understand the different aspect, different way of looking at things. But Maya will come. Maya will come with doubts. Maya will say you are busy, will keep you busy with something. Here, you are keeping yourself busy with Ram. Understand what you are doing, busy, which direction you are going. Understand the direction. Do you want to be going in a direction where you are feeding the enemy, working for the enemy? Be clear about that. And then you are working for yourselves. You be the friend of Sita rather than friend of Ravan. So Maya has to be addressed. These are players. Maya is one player. Ravan is both other player. You have to deal with both players. Then victory is a guaranteed result. I will stop here. We'll get more opportunity to deal with the other discussions and all tomorrow. But Sarah, want to add anything?
Yes, I find sometimes writing helps, at least it certainly did at the beginning. Not the journaling kind where you're just writing whatever comes, because Raven's heads want to use everything and take you back into a story, maybe acknowledge something, but to write the thoughts of Ram, the ideas of Ram, the feelings of Ram. And I used to feel they were just words, but I would be getting involved with it, as if by writing, you're committing it to paper, it becomes more real and you're engaging. And it was feeling really like a Sanjivani at the time, because it would be keeping the mind busy in another space and just the feeling shifting. So there are different ways perhaps we can experiment. Um, and just to now really see the power of our thoughts, which could be powerful in helping Sita, or it can be powerful for Ravan's heads. So it's really poignant. It's not innocent, just sort of letting the mind wander, and to give it a direction. Um, feels so much better, like in a system. Otherwise, it can be confusing for Sita. So yeah. We had retreats here, we'd have Sanjivani in person. You'd sometimes see a shift literally on the face, because something shifts inside. The relief, it's like as if a person is looking different. It's really amazing when we experiment on this journey. Yeah, thank you. Would Prashant like to share any final commentary or homework?
What we discussed is like he said psychodrama. Our whole human psychology is so abstract, and to understand all these different factors happening in the human life, and from there to gain victory or all this, it is a it's an extraordinary journey. All the best for you. But revision, so that you understand the players involved. It is fun, and the game is always a fun, but to understand the game properly, that is required. And all the best.
Yeah. This is a big point, isn't it? The new knowledge is the power that we have in the boxing. So it's like a fresh ammunition for Sita. So we have a copy of the story and we'll post it again. I think we might have posted, yes, the link to the G Drive. and something to reflect on. We'll meet again tomorrow. And thank you so much. Enjoy your experiments.